Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Scream Halloween special. So what, season 2.5 do we want to call it?
I think this is technically considered the last episode of season 2.
Okay, fair enough.
Because what we learned recently is that the showrunners who we had on for the season finale of Scream, they have left the show.
Yes.
And the show will be taken over by new showrunners.
Right.
And this Halloween special, in addition to being a one-off, kind of almost feature-length, kind of slasher movie in and of itself, it also seems like they're sort of clearing house. Because the first thing that happens on the show, in the end of the last season, spoilers if you haven't seen it, why would you be watching this otherwise? We find out that Kieran was the other killer all along. Is it Kieran?
Yeah, we found that at the end of the last.
I'm catching everyone up.
Right.
We found out he was the killer. He was actually arrested, which is kind of nice. That almost never happens in a slasher.
And then he dies in the first 5 minutes.
I kind of thought they'd keep him around, like try to play some Hannibal Lecter stuff with it, but nope, gone. We're done. We don't care anymore. And maybe the killer is attacking them throughout this episode.
His mustache will not be missed. So this is kind of a one-shot deal where they take what's left of the Lakewood 6. The
Lakewood whatever is left.
Yeah,
I don't even know anymore.
You fill in number, and they leave Murderville to visit Murder Island.
Yeah, so we find out that in the interim, and I think it's been a little while, everyone is getting ready for their senior year of high school, which, by the way, they were supposed to be freshmen in season 1.
Really?
Freshmen or sophomores, and I did not buy it then, and I do not buy it now.
Yeah.
So Noah and the sheriff's son... the sheriff's son,
Stavo.
Stavo. They put together like a comic book or like an illustrated book, and
Stavo was doing that like every page is a close-up panel comic book all season. So
that's a style. I remember Rob Liefeld did that for X-Force versus Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, well don't do that.
Okay.
Anyway,
but in any case, they decided to do a book together in high school, and I guess it's a bestseller or something, and now they're talking about doing a follow-up already, which is a really fast time to not only write it, draw it, publish it, build the publicity, get people excited, and then put together another book. That's pretty fast for teenagers.
They seem to have a cheeseball publisher who has nothing else on his plate but whatever Noah and Stavo do next. So, that's the kind of white glove treatment you get when you have made a hit comic book based on the Lakeville murders.
That's just
or
fine.
Lakewood, whatever the hell we are.
I don't even know what the hell they are. Anyway.
Okay, so we're off to the island.
Yeah, basically the idea is Noah needs inspiration to do another book. It's based on a true story, based on a true slasher, and there's a mystery on this island of a woman who's kind of like Lizzie Borden, like 100 years ago or whatever. She hacked up her family, and there's a whole lot of urban legends about it. Noah doesn't think it's worth writing about, but they get there. Someone steals the garden shears from The Burning, which is probably one of the more obvious references in the show on this one. And they start hacking people up, and you're not sure if it's the person who killed Kieran or if this is a completely unrelated slasher. Right. But it really does feel like a Scooby-Doo thing.
A little bit, because at this point, I feel like everybody who survived the first 2 seasons feels so codified that they are no longer suspects. So they have to drag in all these new folks. So we have comics publisher, we have
Audrey's new girlfriend,
we have
the caretaker of the estate,
right? Yes,
the mysterious heir,
who is Gasp, a hot chick, mystery heir, who has a thing for Emma,
the creepy historian who's dispatched quickly, but for a moment you think it might be.
Yeah, they knock him off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The nerdy creepy historian.
But I kind of like it actually because I don't know. By season 2, when you have a bunch of characters to whom unusual things happen all the time, the unusual starts to become the usual. You start to lose that sense of reality, that this is reality, and then the events of Scream happen.
Right.
So by season 3, that it's getting a little arch doesn't really bother me that much. To some extent, serial killer again. We've dealt with this before.
Been there, done that.
And just introducing some new characters and having fun, especially for a Halloween special.
Yeah.
Because they're playing this as a Halloween special, and I've seen so much worse Halloween specials. Remember, there was the Dawson's Creek Halloween special where you think it's going to be a Halloween special and then it never does, and at the end of the episode they find out that they got a ride from a serial killer that never went anywhere. It was a really weak episode. And this is just a fun, contained little slasher. It's kind of obvious who the killer is because there aren't that many suspects and they don't have a lot of time.
That's the thing, yeah. Like I said, I think because you completely know that nobody from Lakewood is involved with this. Like it's got to be one of the new faces of 2016 that we're getting here.
Yeah.
But yeah, within that, they do create kind of an interesting, there's a place and there's a storm and there's a house and all that stuff that you want. It does, however, get solved by Noah taking Olympic-sized leaps of, well, then this happened. Like basically one secret passageway, and he's got the whole thing nailed down.
yeah.
Like, oh, come on, Noah.
Noah is brilliant. Noah's
Yeah.
the Velma of the group.
Even Velma would be like,
Yeah, it's a little. I said it's a little arch.
Yeah.
It's a little ridiculous. But I had a good time.
No,
I think this is an entertaining, especially if you have any investment in these characters. This is an entertaining little mini interlude.
Yeah.
But with this many serial killers running around, like season 3 is just have. Here's my advice to the new showrunners of Scream: just have fun. Just seriously, we don't care anymore. I mean, we keep the characters so that they matter and that they have feelings. But seriously, go nuts. Go nuts, because you have a reduced season anyway. It sounds like MTV isn't super excited about doing Scream anymore. Go out with a bang.
Yeah.
Introduce the supernatural. Seriously, go nuts.
yeah, do the last season of Glee. Like, be even more self-aware and less giving a crap about any of this, because the whodunit at this point has unraveled to an extent that we have like a mound of yarn on the floor. So just do anything with it. It doesn't matter.
And also bring in Robert Englund. What the hell? Bring him.
Couldn't hurt.
Robert, like someone, like cameos, like go nuts is my point.
Now,
you know, like let's have people show up.
Sure. Now, do you want to do your obligatory plug for Harper's Island, which comes up every time we talk about like TV mysteries that aren't given enough credit, and this one's on an island? I know you're dying to talk about Harper's Island. Talk about Harper's Island.
This one was kind of like Harper's Island. I liked Harper's Island.
Bibbs has a podcast about TV shows that were canceled in one season or less. They're going to get to Harper's Island.
Oh, we're going to get to Harper's Island.
I just know it.
Yeah, this whole month we're doing horror stuff. We did like Nightmare Cafe and Dracula the series.
God, Dracula. I had never heard of that, and you guys describing it. I'm like, what is this
It's the most insane show that no one saw. Dracula the series was the Lost Boys versus Dracula the show in 1990, and it's a lot of fun. It's Dracula by way of Lex Luthor. So yeah, I have a podcast that would talk about weird stuff like that. So
Anyway,
thank you for the plug. I
Not
never
at
plug
all.
it.
Okay, so Scream. Yeah, I mean, and definitely setting some stuff up for season 3.
Yeah.
A character who's just been bopping along, waiting for his moment, apparently is now maybe finally going to get it, or maybe
I
there's
would
more
hope
bopping. Who knows?
I would hope so. Just bring Brandon James back, have him whip off a mask, and it's like it's Jeffrey Combs or someone big. That's my
fun.
point. Because they'd be, older, or maybe he'd be scarred or messed up in some way.
Right.
Have fun, because I know they want us to think it's Emma's father. It's no way.
Yeah.
It's way too obvious. They're not doing that. Maybe he's involved.
Yeah.
But there's no way it's Emma's father.
Well, maybe, how about David Arquette?
Yeah, I could buy that. I like David
that
Arquette. Yeah,
works.
he's underrated.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, Scream, we're still watching this thing. And we'll be back for season 3.
What a surprise you sound. We're still watching it.
So we hope you are too. Come back.
Know that.